Let's first start with first property of metals and non-metal, that is physical state. Physical state means whether they are solid, liquid or gas. So metals are generally solid at room temperature, as we have studied in the previous lecture, and mercury is the only metal which is found in the liquid state. Non-metals like oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur, they are solid or gas, but bromine is the only non-metal which exists in liquid state. Second property is malleability and ductility. Malleability means they can be beaten into thin sheets. Ductility means they can be drawn into thin wires. You have studied in previous lecture, metals are malleable and ductile. That's why we make thin wires of silver, copper and gold, except zinc, which is brittle. But non-metals are neither malleable nor ductile, they are brittle. Brittle means they can be changed into powder. For example, if you beat coal, it will change to powder. We cannot make wires from the coal. Third physical property of metals and non-metal is the luster, that is, they have shiny surface. You have studied in the previous lecture, metals are lustrous. But if you see in your surrounding, you will say that iron is a metal that have no shiny surface, but it get corroded due to action of air and moisture. And metals like silver, gold and platinum are very shiny because they are not corroded. That's why they are used to make jewelry. And non-metals are non-lustrous. You see, coal is non-lustrous except iodine crystals and graphite. They have shiny surface. Fourth physical property of metals and non-metals is about conductivity of heat. In the previous lecture, you have studied that metals are good conductor of heat. That is, if they are heated from one end, heat will be conducted to other end also. But bismuth is a metal which is poor conductor of heat. And about non-metals, they are poor conductor of heat. Fifth property of metals and non-metal is the hardness. You have seen all the metals in your surrounding like iron, silver, gold, they are very hard. Except sodium and potassium metal, you will see in lab, they are so soft they can be easily cut with knife. But non-metals are quite soft. But diamond is the only non-metal which is very hard. It is the hardest substance in nature. Sixth physical property is electrical conductivity. That means they are able to conduct electric current or not. You know, all metals are good conductor of electricity. That's why we make wires for carrying electric current. They are made of copper. Non-metals are poor conductors of electricity. The graphite is the substance which contain carbon as a non-metal, and it is good conductor of electricity. That's why we are using graphite to make the electrodes. Next physical property is sonority. Sonority means when they are struck hard, they will produce the ringing sounds. And metals, you have studied in previous lectures, metals are sonorous. So that's why we are making bells in temple from the metals. And non-metals are non-sonorous. If the piece of coal fell down, no sound will be produced. But if a piece of iron, metal will fall down, some sound is produced. Physical properties of metal and non-metal is melting and boiling point. You have studied in previous lectures, metals have high melting and boiling point, except sodium, potassium, mercury, gallium and cesium. If you keep cesium and gallium on your palm, it will melt. So cesium and gallium have, they are exceptions, they have low melting point. Non-metals in contrast have low melting and boiling point, but the diamond is the substance which contain carbon as a non-metal and have very high melting and boiling point. In the previous class, we have studied about rusting of iron. So in continuation with that, before starting chemical properties of metals and non-metals, we will study about corrosion of different metals. So let's see what's the corrosion. Corrosion is the process of degradation of metal surface by the action of air, moisture or any chemical. Let's first study about corrosion of iron, that is also known as the rusting of iron. When an iron object is left in a damp air means moist air, both oxygen and water are present for a considerable time, it gets covered with a reddish brown flaky substance called rusting of iron. So if we want to write equation for the rusting of iron, for that we need three things. We need iron article, we need oxygen, we need water. When these three react together, we will get hydrated iron oxide, which is reddish brown substance and also known as rust. Chemical equation for the rusting of iron is symbol for iron is Fe, and symbol for oxygen is O2, symbol for water H2O, and we will get iron oxide Fe2O3. Any X water molecules are attached, means any number of water molecules are attached with iron oxide. This is the chemical formula of rust. And we can check the nature of rust. It's given one of the activity 4.3 is given in your book. For this activity, we will take this reddish brown flaky substance in the test tube and make a suspension in water, and take a drop of this suspension and put it on the red litmus paper and blue litmus paper. You will see there will be no color change in case of blue litmus paper, and red litmus paper will turn blue. So it indicates that rust, that is iron oxide, metal oxide, is basic in nature. On page number 47, there is a question from the Pihili. Does copper also get rusted? I have seen a greenish deposit on the surface of copper vessel. Let's answer this question. You have seen when a copper vessel is exposed to moist air for a very long time, we will see dull green coating on the copper metals. So what will be the reaction? Symbol for the copper is Cu, and in air water vapors are there, H2O, carbon dioxide gas is there, CO2, and oxygen is present, O2. So after reaction of air with copper for a long time, we will get green coating. And what is the chemical nature of this green coating? It is copper hydroxide plus copper carbonate. Symbol for the carbonate is the CO3, and for the copper Cu, and for the copper hydroxide Cu stands for copper and OH stands for hydroxide. So we can call this copper carbonate as a basic copper carbonate. So the greenish coating is the basic copper carbonate. Now I want to ask a question from you. If you make suspension of green coating on the copper metals in water, what will be the color of blue litmus paper with this suspension? You can answer this question in doubt session today. Now I will discuss about corrosion of silver. Although it's not given in NCERT book, still I am telling you for extra information. You have seen that if silver ornaments are kept in air for very long time, they gradually turn black. Why they get turned black? because they react with hydrogen sulfide gas present in air and they form silver sulfide, which is black in color. So chemical reaction is like this. Symbol for silver is Ag plus formula for hydrogen sulfide is H2S. When these two react together, we will get silver sulfide. We get silver sulfide and hydrogen gas is released in the air.